All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into what I think is a total revolution in how we build things. We're talking about going from just a simple idea to a real working prototype that you can test and doing it faster than ever. We're going to map out a brand new journey for builders, one that finally leaves all that guesswork behind. So let's get right into it. We're going to kick things off with this quote from Tom Chi, who's a total guru in rapid prototyping. And honestly, it just nails the biggest, most frustrating problem in product development. He asks, what is the truth of the invention that hasn't been invented yet? I mean, think about that. It's absurd, right? We get stuck in these rooms arguing about stuff that doesn't even exist, trying to prove we're right about something that's literally impossible to know. He has this great name for it, a guessathon. And you know exactly what he's talking about, right? We've all been there. You're in a meeting for hours, maybe even weeks, just debating features or colors or how a user should click through something for a product that's still just an idea in your head. It's just a battle of opinions. And way too often, the person who wins is just the loudest person in the room, not the person with the best idea. Okay, so here we are at the first big step in our journey, the call to adventure. This is that moment you realize you have to escape this endless, frustrating cycle of just guessing. There has to be a better way to get real answers from the real world. And here's a perfect real-world example of this, the Google Glass team. I mean, you've got some of the absolute smartest minds on the planet in one room, and what are they doing? They're spending almost half of their first meeting arguing about what color the heads-up display should be. Seriously. They had theories based on physics, ideas from sci-fi movies. It was a complete, full-blown guessathon. So how long did it take to find the real answer? 45 seconds, that's it. The second they stopped talking and actually built something, a super simple prototype, they put it on, and pretty much instantly, everyone in the room agreed. Red was a terrible idea, like the absolute worst choice. So what does that tell you? All that arguing? It was pointless, totally absurd. The embodied experience, actually trying it out, seeing it with their own eyes, that gave them the answer. And it was instant. That was the only thing that mattered. Which leads to a really powerful question. What if you could create that little experiment, not in hours, but in just a few minutes? Well, that brings us to our next chapter. This is where our hero, the modern builder, finds their magical tool. This is a new superpower, and it's called vibe coding, all powered by AI. This is the thing that makes that instant experimentation a total reality. In the process, it's almost ridiculously simple. You don't start with some massive 100-page document. Nope. You just start with a sentence. You describe what you want in plain English, and these AI tools, think things like Replit, V0, Lovable, they act like your coding partner, and they just turn your words into a real working app. I mean, look at this example from the team at Lovable. The whole prompt was just 2 words, an Airbnb clone. That's it. Not a huge list of features, just the core idea, the vibe. And the result? 30 seconds later, they had a functional, good-looking clone of Airbnb, coded from scratch by AI. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. 30 seconds. From 2 little words to a real thing you can click on and use. Okay, but here's the crucial part. This magical tool, it's not really for building your final, super polished product. Not yet, anyway. Its real power is for the next step of the journey, the first trial. This is all about learning what your users actually want. This is where human-centered design really comes into play. And this quote from Mar Shlomo, the founder of Base 44, this is the heart of it all. This guy sold his company, which he built by himself, for $80 million. And how'd he do it? He didn't just hide in a cave and code. No, he sat down with his very first users, watched them use his tool, and whenever it broke or they got stuck, he would literally fix it with them, right there, on the spot. See, he understood something fundamental. A prototype isn't meant to be the final answer. Its only job is to help you learn. It's really just an experiment, right? It's a question you're asking your users. Hey, is this useful? Does this make sense? Does this actually solve your problem? And with AI, you can now build and ask those questions at lightning speed. And that's the whole game. The faster you can ask those questions and get real answers back, the faster you're going to master the craft of building something people actually love. It's all about shortening that learning loop. Now, let's just think about the old way for a second. It was this painfully slow, long process, right? You'd have an idea, you'd write a spec, You'd get it approved, it goes to development, then QA. I mean, it could literally take months to get one single idea in front of a real user. And then what happens? You find out you were totally wrong from the very beginning. So frustrating. But now check out the new way. Tom Chi's teams, supercharged with these AI tools, they can test with users multiple times a week. Think about this workflow. You come up with an idea in the morning, you build a quick prototype, and you're testing it with a real person that same afternoon. You can even code changes live while they're giving you feedback. The loop that used to take months now closes in just a few hours. And this right here is the absolute core of it all. The goal isn't just to build faster, it's to learn faster. That's the real prize. Your success is now all about how quickly you can turn your guesses into proven facts by watching real people. That is the new game. So, this brings us to our final leg of the journey, the return home. Our builder, armed with these incredible new tools and a new way of working, comes back. But they're different. They've evolved. They have a totally new mindset about what it actually takes to build something great. Because this new way of working completely changes what skills matter. Being a great builder isn't about being the world's best coder who can memorize every line of syntax. It's not about flawlessly following a spec anymore. The ground is shifting under our feet, and the skills that are valuable are changing too. So, what does this new builder look like? Well, first, they're generative. The hard part isn't coding anymore, it's coming up with good ideas. Second, they're eloquent. Knowing the right words to use, how to prompt the AI, that's a genuine superpower now. Third, they're tasteful. You're not just a coder, you're the director, the curator of quality. And most importantly, they're a rapid learner. Your number one job is to learn from your users and shrink that feedback loop down to nothing. Look, the barrier between that vision in your head and a real working product has never, ever been lower. You don't have to get stuck in those endless guessathons anymore. You can build, test, and learn, all in a single day. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build tomorrow?